What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mindset Mogul podcast. Listen, we're just filming this quick 30-second intro because we just filmed an entire episode. It was fire. It was great. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Fire.
But I totally forgot to plug in the camera. I totally forgot to plug in the microphones. I totally forgot to plug in the laptop. I just totally forgot about everything because I just feel on fire, and
I was telling Josh about a new business that I'm launching, and we got really into it before the call, and then we're like, "Yo, we got to do this pod before we run out of time," and then we just jumped right into it. So there's some mutual blame here.
So, anyways, you're about to listen to this pod, and it's gonna probably sound a little shitty because we didn't have our microphones plugged in. If you're watching on YouTube, it's gonna be shitty video quality, but we're still gonna post it. It was fire. So, without further ado, let's jump over to the pod. You're about to hear another intro from us, and see you then. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mindset Mogul podcast. Holy crap, we were in sync so well again there. How's it going, everybody? We are your co-hosts. Oh, Jesus Christ, we're starting that over. Actually, forget it. Let's keep it. This is great. I love this. All right, this is perfect. So,
run it.
What's going on, everybody? It's been, I don't know how many days since we've done a pod. Obviously, you can tell I'm a little off, but
slightly rusty.
Yeah, slightly rusty. I'm also super freaking pumped up today, and my mind is in a million places, and I'm ready to go. So let's jump into the pod today. Let's start with a moment of gratitude. I am super grateful to have Brad back here in person. Super grateful for all these amazing things happening this week in my life. Super grateful to be dialed in like a freaking beast right now in fitness and business and everything. I feel freaking good, man. How are you? What are you grateful for?
Dude, it is hard not to be pumped up in a room with you right now. I'm feeling the energy now that I'm back at your place. This week's been crazy, and I think it's we should talk about today the power of intention, at least just a little bit. Josh got us reading this book, The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer, excuse me. Must read. When you're reading it, just open yourself up to whatever the book is saying and let it ride, because what's the worst that could happen? But I'll tell you, this past week, which is basically like the week after we've done most of the reading of the book, things feel intentional and like they're going our way.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing too is, number one, when I am like super dialed and focused, I feel like everything good happens. And it happens when every time I'm on 75 hard, for example. Like right now I'm doing phase 1. I don't even know what day I'm on, day 8 or 9.
You'll be like day 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, and every time I do something like this with such a high level of intention, and every single day when I wake up, my entire day is planned out, and I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I know exactly where I'm going to waver and where I'm going to not. Good things happen in my life. And it's like they say, you know, Andy posts about this all the time, just another day getting lucky. It's like when you do everything the right way, things will happen in your life that you don't expect. Like luck appears out of nowhere. And I think a big part of the power of intention is just, if you have the right intentions every single day with every action you take in every area of your life, the more and more that you practice that consistently, the more and more unbelievable things that you dream about and manifest will just start appearing in your life. And I know that sounds like woo-woo type stuff, but it is there's nothing else that makes sense to me why every time I am so dialed in and have such a high level of intention that it seems like miracles pop out of nowhere. So I don't know, man, how you feel about that, but
long time ago, I would struggle with how does that type of thing work? You can't see it, so do you believe it type of situation. And so I've come up with a number of different narratives that I think all support why, when you're dialed, when you have intention, when you know what you want out of your life, things start going your way. And I think intention is really like the first step in intention we talk about all the time is building clarity. You can't have intention for something if you don't have clarity. And then intention is we'll talk about, if you read the book, it talks about connecting with the source, but it opens up your mind and your energy to the thing that it is that you want, which you have clearly identified. And so I think a couple things happen. If you wanted to try and be as not woo-woo as possible, you would say, okay, by putting a strong intention in my mind for what I want, I am getting my mind ready to go get that thing. So that when all the small moments happen in your day that you need to do the right thing, say the right thing, make the right phone call, you just start naturally doing them. They flow out of your subconscious. And so all of your actions, without you thinking about it, are naturally pushing you in the direction of the thing that you want. Really, the thought of intention is conditioning you to be ready to go get that thing. And when you operate like that, your mind and your body are all in sync and push you towards that goal.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but it's also such a good tool for having anxiety or having, like, I was having imposter syndrome about something the other day. And like one of the things that Wayne Dyer talks about in the book always is if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling angry, if you're feeling whatever negative emotion that you're feeling, just repeat the word intention to yourself 7 times. And it sounds woo-woo or whatever, but like when I repeat the word intention to myself 7 times when I'm having anxiety and imposter syndrome about this thing coming up, like all of a sudden after saying it 7 times, I'm like, what do I have to worry about? Literally, I have this intention. It's the right intention. There's literally nothing to worry about. And everything I'm worrying about is just something made up in my head. So, by the way, guys, we're doing an accountability pod today, if you didn't know this yet. So, yeah. So there's something about that too. Like that saying to me has been really helping me since reading the book. I read the book, by the way, already. And this is my 2nd or 3rd time reading it. And I'm telling you, every time it's like, I don't know, man. My negative emotions are so much more manageable.
That's just a powerful tool on its own, whether or not you're like truly getting what you want as a function of it. I'll counter my last thought on, okay, if things aren't woo-woo, how would this work? I actually do believe that I believe that you give off an energy and that in the quantum field of possibility, and some people think about that as the source, that's the universe, it's God. But the fabric of possibility for all things that exist, it all exists in energy and waves. You have an energy. And when you start connecting that energy to the possibility that you want, this might sound woo-woo, but when you unpack quantum mechanics and you recognize that we don't really understand anything about how the world works, I fully take this as a plausible explanation for why the power of intention is so powerful. You connect your energy to the energy of the thing that you're intending for, and therefore you're just naturally drawn to it through the course of space and time in the universe. And so no matter what vantage point you want to take this from, read the book and apply the tools in there because your life will get better. And I think right now we're experiencing the benefits of it. So what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, no, there's absolutely nothing. That reminded me of, by the way, sorry if you heard the dog barking, but this is real, man. This is real. So that reminded me of, I just watched the movie the new Avatar the other day. And when you said you plug into the source, I know this is totally unrelated, but when you say you plug into the source and the Avatar guys like plug their hair into the animal or whatever, and all of a sudden they become one with that animal and they gain the powers and they have like all this stuff that they can do now by connecting their hair to that. And it's like, I know it's a silly analogy, but if you just give yourself to the source or whatever that is and trust in the process of, and you having the right intention along the way, like trust that it is going to take you on the journey of where you need to go. It only serves you to believe that. It doesn't serve you to believe that I'm going to do all these things with the right intention and then I'm not going to be taken to the destination I want to go to. So, okay, so Read The Power of Intention is the summary of this. It's a great book. How have you been doing this week? You've been traveling. You've been in Chicago. What's going on? Have you been staying accountable? Have you been staying on track? What's going on?
Mixed bag this week. And it's a mixed bag enough that after seeing what you're pulling off, this is why this pod is great. And this is why anyone who's listening, find an accountability partner because it gets you back on track quicker. But after seeing Josh kick ass since the last time I saw him, it's very clear to me that I need to double down on being extremely regimented with what I'm doing. Because I think in order to take advantage of momentum, you gotta be physically right, which makes you mentally right, which just leads to the outcomes that you're looking for. And I'd say I'm slightly suboptimal. The explanation is I'm doing keto. Keto is a hard thing to travel on if you don't prepare properly, and I did not prepare properly. And so that means having the right snacks available to you. Healthy things that, alternatively, you can do keto, but you can eat a bunch of cheese. And I've been eating a decent amount of cheese. because it was available and I was trying to stay keto, you got to ask yourself at what cost. Like, you are not operating, you're not operating at your highest level if you're over indexing on cheese.
If you're having 10 cheese sticks.
Yeah, if you're having 10 cheese sticks. So that is a little bit of what I've been facing this week. Is I have stuck to keto when it was difficult, but it's come at a cost just in terms of the quality of the foods that I'm eating. And so this is a wake-up call that if I'm going to commit to a specific and difficult diet, it needs to come with the proper planning, especially when traveling. So set yourself up for success. That's my lesson from this week. I did 3 cold plunges at sub 50 degrees. That was electric. Usually I do cold plunging in the Bay in San Francisco. That's between 50 and 55, but I was at my friend's place who has a cold plunge, and we had it set at sub 50, and that 5 degrees is a big 5 degrees. So that was, I thought that I lived up to the expectation of myself of when you wake up, if you're going to do something hard, do it immediately and do not procrastinate, because it is an opportunity to close the gap from deciding to do something hard to actually doing it. And so every day, like the first day I kind of probably waited like 15 minutes and I was like, that was bullshit. I walked around, I was like, maybe I'll get the coffee ready for after. I just would find ways not to go get into the cold tub. And then the next day I was like, all right, lock it up a little bit here, and got in quicker. And then on the third morning, I just got up, went straight down, did it. And I was like, that is how you're supposed to execute on that. So you can get everything from it, both physically and mentally. And then workouts were pretty good this week. A little slow because keto adaptation makes working out, lifting heavy weights specifically, difficult. But I should be over that hump starting next week. But we'll be back to the 6-a-day grind.
Nice. Yeah, you explaining the cold plunge was like me doing the cold showers for 75 hard. You remember the first day you were here was like the first one I did.
Dude, you were ridiculous. You were walking around. I was like, would you go take a
Brad
shower?
took a whole shower before I even ever got in the shower.
I got out. I was like, what are you doing?
2 separate showers, obviously. By the way. Oh man. Yeah. So this week has been great. I've been dialed in. I feel amazing. Last week was a little rough for me, as we talked about in the last accountability pod. This week, I've just been on it. I did a 42-hour fast. I've been eating super healthy, dialed in on my fitness, just in general, dialed in on business. I just feel like this week is like my flow state, and I am on fire. And like we said when we started this call, just a lot of things have been happening this week that were unexpected and amazing things that I'm really excited about that I'll be sharing with you guys soon. But just, yeah, very cool. I don't know, man. I to be honest, that's my update. Like, do good things and good things are going to happen. I really do believe in that. And it is really true for me every single time I'm super dialed in. So if you're asking yourself, like, why is the universe against me? Because it's something I used to ask myself literally every day. It's probably because you are against yourself. And the universe is with you when you are with yourself. So when you have the right intention, when you're doing the things that you know you need to be doing, opportunities will present themselves that you never imagined would present themselves. When you are working against yourself and you're not doing the things you need to be doing and you're not having positive self-talk and you're literally working against yourself, the universe is going to work against yourself too, because guess what else the power of intention teaches you? You are the universe. Every single one of us is the exact same thing. The source lives inside of all of us. We are all a part of the source. And if you are negatively impacting yourself, you are going to feel like the universe is against you because you are your own universe. So I don't know if I said that the best way, but it is the truth that if you are if you're working against yourself, the universe is going to be working against you. If you're working for yourself, the universe is going to work for you, and it's going to guide you to where you need to go. I don't really have much else than that this week. I just feel like as long as I stay dialed in like this every day, good things are going to keep happening, and that's the message that I want to spread to you guys. Keep doing good things, keep working for yourself, and the universe will keep working for you.
And clip it. You are absolutely electric right now. And if you're listening in the audience, this is what 1 week of being dialed will do for you.
True.
100%. It doesn't take much to start hitting momentum. Like, we were together 8 days ago, and you were just getting into this, and I can tell you that, like, the level of energy and just good vibration from, like, it's always good when I come over, but when I walked in today, I was like, whoa. There's a positive, forward moving energy in this room. I think you just heard it live on this podcast, and that is what happens when you start hitting and firing on all cylinders. But it all starts with the actions that you take, the basic ones: eating right, working out, in this case cold showers, and then
staying hydrated, eating right.
Getting the power of attention layered in on top of all that is magic. And so I think the one other thing I'd take away as you were talking is, I don't know what number accountability pod this is for us, but when you see it working, like the self-reflection that we do on the show, constantly pushing you in the right direction, it's a good lesson if you're listening. Any type of self-reflection and honest self-reflection will help you push yourself in the right direction until you're at the point where you're firing on all cylinders. And so use this pod as an example of just making it a habit. However you need to do it. Hopefully you can find somebody that you can jam on this with, because it's definitely best done with somebody else to reflect with them. But even if it's just with yourself, do these types of reflections and be honest about where you are and where you want to go, and then just keep at it.
I think this is great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for listening, watching. Please, 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 if you got value from this episode, if you laughed, if you any type of positive experience, we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching, leave a comment. If you have a question for us, you can leave a comment in the YouTube channel, or you can email it into support@mindsetmogul.com. We will answer that question for you on the podcast. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Google, please leave us a 5-star review and give us a follow there. We really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.
Take care.